Friends, a hearty welcome to Tatveda. I'm Arun Babu Nalamara and I'm thrilled to have you here. Like you, I've looked around at the world and wondered how to make sense of it all, especially when day to day life seems full of conflicts and endless worries. We work long hours, navigate relationships that sometimes feel like uphill climbs, and wonder why people behave the way they do. Today, let's focus on those everyday tensions and how to navigate them with clarity, empathy, and purpose. We'll talk about understanding human behavior, managing stress, and improving communication in our personal and professional lives. Let's dive in. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. At Tatveda, my goal is to bring insights that help you find deeper meaning and practical solutions for life's challenges. As someone who's dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of existence, starting from my days at IIT Bombay to all I've learned studying philosophy and human nature, I want to share tools that will help you cultivate a calmer mind, better relationships, and a life fueled by curiosity rather than confusion. Let's begin with a simple but powerful idea. Every day, we encounter people who don't act the way we want them to. We say, "Why does he constantly criticize me?" Or, "Why can't she just do it the way I told her to?" When these frustrations pile up, we fall into a cycle of circular thinking, complaining over and over without arriving at a solution. This leads to stress, headaches, and a sense of helplessness. But let's pause for a moment. Consider this truth. They are they, and you are you. Every individual on this planet carries an entirely unique set of experiences and perspectives. We might imagine we understand them, but we actually only know the tip of the iceberg. You're deeply familiar with your own mind, your upbringing, your struggles, your triumphs, but you've seen only glimpses of theirs. Think of yourself and another person as two seeds planted in completely different soils. Even if you both grow into tall trees, your root systems and your growth trajectories are distinct. This recognition alone can reduce our anger and impatience. Instead of blaming or forcing others to fit our mental mold, we can pause, reflect, and approach them with more empathy. That small shift from "why don't they do what I want" to "how can I understand where they're coming from" is a turning point in communication and stress reduction. Take a moment to breathe. You might wonder, doesn't this mindset mean letting people off the hook for their bad behavior? Not exactly. Acceptance isn't the same as blind tolerance. Acceptance means you acknowledge who they are and how they operate. Once you have that understanding, you can choose a constructive response, whether it's setting boundaries, modifying your approach, or if necessary, stepping away from toxic relationships. The key is not to waste your precious mental energy on the same complaint loop, which drains you and doesn't solve the issue. Now, let's explore a concept I like to call manufactured in different factories. We're shaped by our families, our education, the culture we grew up in, and the friendships we formed over the years. That's why we can't expect uniformity in reactions or behaviors. The coworker who seems cold might have grown up in a very formal environment. The friend who never returns calls might come from a place where personal space is deeply valued. Recognizing these different factory settings helps us adapt and communicate more effectively. Take another short pause. Think about a situation in your life where you're stuck. Maybe it's a recurring clash at work or a personal disagreement that never seems to resolve. Ask yourself, what if I'm missing a puzzle piece about them? That single question can deflate tension and promote curiosity. Instead of seeing a conflict as a confrontation, you see it as an opportunity to learn more about the other person's perspective. This shift in mindset is closely tied to managing stress. When we ruminate on negative interactions, our minds spin in circles and our bodies tense up. Stress hormones flood our system, leading to headaches, anxiety, or even long-term health problems. A calmer approach, grounded in empathy and curiosity, disrupts that stress cycle. But how do we maintain this calm day in and day out? A good place to start is clarity of mind. When our minds are clear, we can stop ourselves in the middle of an argument and ask, is this approach helping or just heating things up? Clarity is like a mental spotlight. It shines on your thought patterns, giving you a chance to change your reactions before they run wild. Let's pause once more. Cultivating clarity doesn't require an elaborate retreat or hours of meditation, though those can help. Sometimes It's as simple as taking a few mindful breaths when you feel your frustration rising. Maybe stepping away from your desk for a moment, feeling the ground beneath your feet, or recalling a pleasant memory before replying to a harsh comment. Over time, these small habits accumulate into a mental discipline that drastically reduces stress and increases your sense of control. What about navigating challenges at work or in personal life? Often, we bring the same tension we feel with colleagues into our homes, or vice versa. The energy you carry from a workplace misunderstanding might affect how you talk to your family in the evening. By learning to communicate effectively, especially by using I statements instead of you statements, we shift blame away from the other person and instead focus on our own feelings. For example, I feel overlooked when my opinions aren't acknowledged in meetings, rather than, you never listen to me. This small change in phrasing can open doors to constructive dialogue instead of defensive arguments. At the same time, remember the rule of realigning your wants. If you want them to behave a certain way, sometimes you need to adjust your own wants to align with how they naturally behave. This might sound counterintuitive, but it can save you countless hours of stress. Instead of slamming into the same wall, you learn to open a different door. You explore solutions or compromises that respect both your needs and theirs. All of this becomes easier when you understand that you cannot fully know someone else's internal world. You see the problem from a larger perspective. Perhaps your coworker is going through personal challenges that affect their attention or mood. Maybe your family member has been shaped by past events that make them react fiercely in certain situations. When you accept that your knowledge of them is incomplete, your heart softens and your mind opens. Take another moment to breathe. Before we wrap up, let's revisit the key points. Recognize that constant complaint loops lead nowhere. They drain your energy and create stress. Understand people's factory settings, their background, upbringing, and experiences, so you can approach them with empathy instead of resentment. Maintain clarity of mind by pausing, taking mindful breaths, and choosing your responses rather than reacting blindly. Use effective communication techniques, I statements, setting clear boundaries, and focusing on solutions rather than blame. Realign your wants when it's more practical to do so, saving yourself from endless frustration. When we bring these insights into our everyday lives, we reduce the chaos at work, smooth out bumps in relationships, and cultivate a more peaceful internal state. Stress diminishes, confidence grows, and a sense of harmony takes root where tension once thrived. This isn't an overnight transformation, it's a practice. But with every step, you'll find yourself living in a calmer, more connected way. If this resonates with you, subscribe to Tatveda so we can continue this journey together. Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll do my best to address your questions in future talks. Take one last pause. Remember, we're all on this path of learning and growing. We're all mysteries to one another in some way. The more we embrace that, the less we judge, and the more we connect. Let's keep exploring the secrets of existence, not only in the grand cosmic sense, but also in the most basic human interactions. Because sometimes the greatest mystery we can solve is how to live with one another in peace, acceptance, and mutual respect. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Arun Babu Nalamara, and this is Tatveda. Together, let's make life less about complaints and more about understanding. Until next time, stay curious, practice clarity, and remember that every experience, even the frustrating ones, carries a lesson waiting to be discovered.